biggest things you'll take away today is our shared values, our plan, our strategic plan, and then on the front end, a little history about Oxford and a little history about how we came to be where we are today. Many of you have heard the story of how the company has been founded, but I've been asked a lot to tell the story because many of you have no idea how we came to be. So let me start. Over a decade ago, having served as a small business owner in property management, having run a small division for the Mayo Clinic, I wanted to find a way that I could combine my healthcare experience with my property management experience. And I had a vision to start a senior housing company. Senior housing seemed to blend those interests perfectly. And as I looked around the landscape, looking for what would be the best type of company to follow, I couldn't find it. There weren't a lot of good models out there. I was looking for the Mayos of the senior housing community. I wasn't finding them. So I started my company, I wrote a business plan, and I started knocking on doors for investors. I talked to banks, I talked to real estate guys, I talked to anybody that listened, quite frankly. And I heard the same thing. How big are you going to be? How profitable are you going to be? How many employees are you going to have? How quickly are you going to grow? And it didn't fit what I was looking at. One day I got lucky, and I knocked on the Hanson family door. And the dialogue immediately was about how do we treat our employees? How do we build good process? How do we make good become great? How do we become the best in what we do? And after about 6 meetings with the Hanson, I said, I found my partner. And they said they found their partner. And what the Hansons and I realized was, and they realized a long time ago, but we hope to prove it out with Oxford, is that if you're the best, in this case senior housing, if you're the best in management services, the rest will follow. And the promise, as many of you know, has been really defined since the beginning of the company, but is to provide healthy living and working environments while generating value for our clients. So let's talk about our core values. Integrity, being honest and having strong moral principles. Very, very significant, very important. Being honest and having strong moral principles. If I had one core value that I think exemplifies everybody in the room and our history of Oxford, it's this core value. We have had times through our history when we were small, we had clients asking us to do a lot of things that weren't so good in terms of financial projections and so on and so forth. Oxford has stayed true to be a company of integrity. Dedication, committed to a task, a purpose, and to each other. Committed to a task, a purpose, and to each other. If there's no more evidence of this, as I get out to the campuses, I don't know what other core value. I see nurses working the floor. I see campus directors in the kitchen cooking. I see short staff facilities being supported by other staffs and other communities. Oxford exemplifies dedication. Compassion. One of my favorite stories about this, work with kindness, concern, and empathy, is probably played out every day in all your campuses. But one of my favorites is going down to a campus a few years ago, meeting with the manager, and that manager greeted me halfway down the aisle, and she had a senior citizen with her. And that senior citizen was holding her hand, and her head was on our manager's shoulder. And it was obvious that the senior citizen had some form of dementia, and the manager was attending to something that had just happened that was upsetting the senior citizen. And as I greeted the manager and to talk about whatever I was going to talk about, it was very evident that whatever I was going to talk to her about bore no relation to the significance of the compassion that I was witnessing in front of me. This is a key part of what drives our company and a key part of what makes us Oxford. Entrepreneurship, Entrepreneurship is often viewed as I described how we started our company, people think that's entrepreneurship. I think it is, but I think the entrepreneurship is, again, demonstrated at our campus level of how you're running your buildings, how you're managing, how you're dealing with problems, how you're holding the business accountable for driving bottom line. This is Oxford, but it's also Oxford's origin, and it's also Oxford as we continue to grow. Respect, appreciate others' abilities and honor those around you. Respect, appreciate others' abilities and honor those around you. Also a very, very key core value for our company. Knowledge, gain and utilize awareness and experience. Some of the best companies are companies that continually grow, continually learn, continuous improvement. I think Oxford, through the things I see every day and the training and the new processes and the new commitments to challenges that go well beyond our current operational model, this is a key feature of Oxford. Humility. Work with pride and not arrogance. In football, we say, don't spike the ball. I think Oxford is a don't spike the ball company. We have successes every day. You have successes at the site. We've grown as a company. We're not out high-fiving every day. We're not out putting our names on the paper. The ultimate test of this is we take pride in what we do, and that really is our feedback. That's really what we're here for, is the compassion and all the core values we've talked about. That's our reward, if you will. I'll just say our approach to quality is, and this is true when if you sat in our board meetings, it's all about a self-effacing look at our company. You know, what are we doing right? Okay? And what I was trying to get with the initial story, and I'll get back to a little bit of the exact question on quality, but is it isn't so much about the immediate, you know, what are we making today? You know, what do we make today? You know, and how big are we going to be tomorrow? It's really about let's evaluate on continual, what I call continuous improvement. If you want to take a point, the old saying, you know, good is the enemy of great. You've heard that, so you've covered whatever. I mean, this is about looking at our operational platform on a very self-effacing basis. And again, how can we improve what we're doing? Not only, maybe this is where you're getting, but not only with how do we improve it so we can get bigger, because I have blended in some of that new business piece, but how can we improve because we want to be the best? How can we improve to be a recognized leader in this business?